All right, Shalom. It's Karaf. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, the honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone, and greetings and barakatham to all you sincere Akim throughout the four corners of the earth that are risking your life to push this unadulterated truth in all meekness and sincerity. And you know, recently been dealing with a couple brothers, interested in picking up the truth, and one of them, he's an atheist, and I'm not really interested in dealing with an atheist because we're polar opposites. I don't understand what you believe, and you definitely don't understand what I believe. So, but for the sake of edification, I dealt with that dude, as far as the scriptures go, and just proving that you really lack understanding, man. For you to say that there is no God. Now, one comment that I heard that was made that really struck a nerve with me, especially understanding that Israel has a natural zeal to want to believe in a higher power. So for an Israelite to not believe that there's a God, that's very peculiar. Which it's not. It's how do I say? It's not uncommon, but it's peculiar. And a remark was made from one of the other guys that I was dealing with. They said basically when someone's an atheist, it's mainly because they've been hurt before, and that made all the sense in the world, And the actual reality of the situation is that guy was asking more questions about God than the other people that did believe in God, So it just mad confusion. But what it prompted me to do was to put together a few scriptures and go at it through the Spirit. Okay, so this is Psalm 14:1. It says, "The fool have said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good." I'll read that again. "The fool have said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good." Right. Because if you feel there's no God, you feel there's no guideline. You can just live your life and do what the fuck you want to do, which is totally contrary to the Bible. And that could be one of the reasons why a person would be atheist. And another reason I'm finding out is because Esau has done an excellent job in misguiding our people as far as the scriptures go. And, the trickle-down effect onto the wicked-ass pastors that teach in these churches and call themselves teaching the Bible. And, the first book of the Bible is a stumbling block and a snare to most people. Because the first assumption is that in the garden, the serpent was a snake, So that you lose people right there, right then and there, if you don't know the proper breakdown to that. But on the flip side, the scriptures say the deceived and the deceiver are his. So some people have to be snared up. And the scriptures say that the Bible is a stumbling block. So totally understand that. Okay. But I looked up the word fool here in Psalms 14:1, and it's basic, but just wanted to dig a little deeper. It says the fool, which is Nabal in the Hebrew, and it simply means foolish, senseless fool. Right. And that's what it boils down to. You're an absolute asshole. You have no sense at all for you to say that there's no power. And with this particular guy, he believes in evolution, but he doesn't believe in the Big Bang theory, which is just complete madness. And like the scripture says, I'm gonna read that again. "The fool have said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good." Right. So for you to believe in evolution but no Big Bang, so where the fuck do we come from? It's just madness, man. Okay. So this is Romans 11 and let me see. Okay, I started 32, Romans 11:32. It says, for the Most High have concluded them all in unbelief, that he might have mercy upon all. Verse 33. "Oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. How unsearchable are his judgments, and his ways past finding out." And that's really most atheists, because most atheists, they hang their hat on science, right? And what I was trying to bring to his understanding, like the apostles always say, we need to know the meaning of words, and the word science means to know. And like we all know, the Bible is supreme knowledge, supreme wisdom. So what modern science and man science is basically trying to do is trying to figure out how the Most High does his magic, man. Not magic, but his works, which is impossible, man. You can come up with your theories and theologies and this and that, but the reality is, like it says here, oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. How unsearchable are his judgments and ways past finding out. Right. So the Bible doesn't tell you the molecular structure of a human being, or why the sun gives off, what temperature are the rays that come from the sun, or what temperature is the moon. Is it a lighter? Look, the Most High gave us ordinances and told us our history and gave us law, statutes, commandments, plain and simple. And with an atheist or a person that hangs their hat on science, that's not enough for them. So what do? They go to the slave master to find out their assumptions and their theories, about the Most High's works, right? And that's why, that's why it says, the fool have said in his heart there is no God, which means a person that has no sense, But that's basically what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out how the Most High did this and did that, which is the creator of all things, but at the same time, you don't believe in him. Doesn't make sense, okay? This is, and like Salak in the scripture says, how unsearchable are his ways, and his wisdom and knowledge way past finding out. And the main thing is, we're not worried about how the Most High did this or did that. We're worrying about avoiding the wrath that he's about to bring upon America. And that's the bottom line. And when I asked this guy that, he looked at me like I got 7 heads, or he talked like he got peanut butter in his mouth, Why? Because science is not going to tell you how to avoid thermonuclear warfare or thermonuclear holocaust, or how to avoid going into a FEMA camp and being mutilated, or avoiding the food famine. Science doesn't tell you how to deal with that. The Bible does, right? The same book that tells us about the Heavenly Father, the same book that told us we will come on slave ships to America, written by Moses, and it came to fruition. That's the same book, but people don't believe, and it's cool. It's cool. But you will believe. That's the reality. Okay, so this is the book of Isaiah. Bear with me, Isaiah 55. Okay, this is Isaiah 55:7. It says, "Let the wicked forsake his way," and a person that doesn't believe in God, you're wicked. The scripture just said it. He has done abominable things. There is none that doeth good. Right? Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahawah, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Verse 8. Because basically, 2/3 of our people are atheists, but I give them the credit of knowing there is a power. But what good is it knowing that there's a Heavenly Father and you're not doing anything he says to do? So technically you're an atheist too. That's why the scriptures say they worship me with their mouth and not their mind, not their heart. Okay? So it says, and let him return unto Yahawah, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Pardon from what? From this high holy hell that he's about to bring upon America. And that's the point of it, man. Okay, if the Bible's not real, if it's not true, if all of this was written by a man, just like all those science books and theories that you read was written by man, tell me how are you going to be pardoned from the economic collapse that's coming that you don't even need to read the Bible to see? Or like what's going on in Venezuela, where they're eating trash out the garbage can now. How are you going to avoid that? Tell me scientifically, what are you going to do? How are you going to be capable to avoid that, right? The scripture's telling us right here. It says, and he will have mercy upon him in our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Verse 8, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Okay, but yeah, basically that's the point, man. Look, don't try to find out his ways. We're on earth, and earth is his footstool. Plain and simple. But you know, the reality is people don't believe that. Why? Because they have to see it to believe it. You know, that's the issue with our nation. They have to see the Most High. They have to see these things for them to believe it. But that's why faith is a gift. You know, and we praise YAHAWASHI day in and day out that we have it, because we see these people are blinded. Even if we show them proof, which of course can be questioned if you don't have faith, you know, but we can show them, you know, the Los Lunar Stones, or you know, the Hebrew in the movie 10 Commandments, you know, plenty other things. But you know, if you don't have that gift of faith, you're not gonna get it, you know. So it says, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Right. So basically, man, stick to the script and understand what the Heavenly Father is asking of you, you know. But hey, if you don't believe in him, you can't do that, you know. Okay, but the point is, don't worry about how he created these things, because that's the main question that atheists ask you. Well, if a God is real, why are you asking about a God? You don't believe in him. And we have nothing in common, so there's no need for conversation. Just know that you're a fool. That's the perfect way to answer an atheist, or a person who doesn't believe in God, or someone who believes in evolution or Darwinism. Fool have said in his heart, there is no God. Okay. This is Matthew chapter 16. And like I said, the reason our people, and most of our people don't believe, especially atheists, is because they can't see the Most High. You know, they haven't seen the flood. They haven't seen the waters being parted. They haven't seen the construction of the earth. So they don't believe there's a higher power, you know. But it's cool, because the scriptures also speak about that. This is Matthew 16:4. It says, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, which this is the generation. That's why the Most High said, shall I return to earth and find not faith, roughly paraphrasing? Why? Because this is a wicked and adulterous generation, and they seek it after a sign. Now, if the Most High cracked the clouds open and said, hey, hello, you know, I am Yahawah, niggas will hearken. Just like back then, when they wanted to hear him speak, you know, when Moses went up to Mount Sinai and they heard him speak, and them niggas pissed their pants, man. You know? So you don't want the Most High to talk to you. Trust me. He sent his prophets out and you ignore him, you know? But that's the point is, our people want to see a sign. And the Most High said, no, I'm going to hide my face from you. And then I'm going to see if you have faith, you know? And this the issue. The Most High is all about making believers out of people, okay? Matthew 16:4, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas, and he left them and departed. Right. So basically, what it's saying is, you're not gonna see a sign. Okay, you don't believe in God, cool, and you're not gonna see a sign that he does exist, especially if that's your mindset. We see the signs. We read the scriptures. We see the signs that YAHAWASHI told the disciples. We see them happening. We see prophecy being fulfilled day in and day out. That's our sign. But you people need to see a sign that the Heavenly Father is real, especially an atheist, right? But the scripture is saying you're not going to see a sign. You're going to see the sign of prophet, meaning it's just going to happen. Everything I'm saying, the chariots coming back, wicked people being burnt up in the lake of fire, the martial law, the RFID trip, food famines, plagues, pestilence, and violence. You know? You're not going to see a sign, because the signs are here and you still can't see it. So he's not going to show you the sign you're looking for. It's just going to happen. And then you're gonna know that a prophet had been among you. So with that, Shalom Akim, Yahabashim, Yahushua Barakatham.